Yo, what is good, guys? Titanium Lightning? Yeah, well, it's not the A Lightning you guys were hoping for. Sort of sick today, but I'll try to keep it short and fresh for you guys. So, basically, I'm starting a new series on the second channel. Yeah, second channel. And I'm basically just going to be going over my fantasy basketball, my fantasy football, and the Warriors game. So I'm going to be giving like my sort of breakdown on it and how I'm doing in all of these categories. So first off, we'll start with fantasy basketball. So if you guys didn't know, I am now joining another league, and with the start of the season, we are officially 2-0, first in the East Division. And yeah, so things are going well for us, to say the least. But obviously, I did not join this league alone. Like many of my other videos in fantasy leagues, most of them we were accompanied by John Johnson, who right here with 242 points, and then also we got Jaser right here with 183, and we'll be giving a breakdown on their teams and also some of the other competitive teams. So we'll start off with mine first. We got Ja Morant, obviously good pickup right there. Anthony Edwards, who's I expected him to do more, but it's only the start of the season, so we'll see what he's got in the fantasy bag. Right now, he's averaging 36 on fantasy. He has been averaging 23 in the season. He's been doing his thing, but in terms of fantasy production, could be slightly better. Royce O'Neal is kind of the switch in, switch out guy. Andrew Wiggins, 38. I'm happy with the production. Bobo with Jalen Green. Mikal Bridges, who's been doing really well for my team, 35 points, as you can see right there. Averaging 35. Kevin Durant, my first pick, he's doing this really well. Rudy Gobert, another pick that I'm very happy with. And then Brook Lopez, the undrafted man who I picked up from free agency, has been doing rounds for my fantasy team. He's averaging 40. I'm pretty sure he's averaging more than Gobert. Yeah, he is. So 37.3 for Rudy Gobert. We got Westbrook, Keldon Johnson, and Malcolm Brogdon. Now, Westbrook, I drafted him way too early, and he has been a absolute bust for my team, but hopefully he can pick up his stats, and we do see some potential here with 38 fantasy points against the Nuggets, so hopefully that can keep up, and maybe my pick won't be so much of a bust. So next up, we're going to talk about Lil DC, because he's also 2-0, and at first I thought this guy would be some serious competition, but currently he has 94 fantasy points, but his team does look pretty good. He's got Jordan Poole, nice pickup there. Klay Thompson, who has been a very bad fantasy draft pick. He's averaging like 16.8 fantasy points. DeRozan, good player. Ingram, who's currently out. Joel Embiid, Bogdanovich, the Struss, Devin Booker, another good pickup right there. Donovan Mitchell, hey, surprise, surprise, Donovan Mitchell, 55 fantasy points. Okay. Hey, Donovan Mitchell, I'm pretty sure he's like top 5 averages in fantasy. And obviously, you can see the rest of the team. He's got Middleton on IR. We'll go over John Johnson's team as usual. He's got Steph Curry, best player in the NBA currently, in my opinion. DeJounte Murray, who's a pretty good pickup. 46.6 average points per game for DeJounte. I clowned this pickup. I thought he drafted him way too early, but hey, this might have been one of the best pickups. Michael Porter, John Collins, 34, not bad. Karl Anthony Towns, who is he averaging more than Gobert? He's averaging 0.4 points more than Gobert. Kevin Huerter, Cam Johnson, Dennis Smith, Marcus Morris, Colin Sexton, who's been a bust in terms of fantasy, but it's only the first couple weeks, and I think he will pick up that 19.0 fantasy points. He's got Jaylen Brown, Jaren Jackson, and who's currently on IR. We're not going to go over he's got Harden and LeBron. But we're not going to go into this guy because I don't see him as a real competitor. Well, I don't think he's going to go for him. Team Lowry, who is 1-1, but has the most points right now. Kyrie, Tyler Hero. That team looks pretty good. Oh, Luka. That explains it. Luka's averaging 66 fantasy points. 66 fantasy points. Like, this dude is literally built different. Should I offer him a trade? I will offer him Ja Morant and Malcolm Brogdon for Luka. That trade isn't gonna happen, but hey, if it does, we got ourselves a pickup. And then we'll also go over Jasir's team, who currently is 0-2, but that's because he isn't starting any of his players who are really playing. But Jasir has one stacked team when healthy. He's got Oladipo, he's got Giannis, he's got Lauri Markkanen, who's playing really well. He's got Zion, he's got Kawhi, he's got Bradley Beal, he's got Tyrese Maxey. Like, you cannot tell me this is the most stacked team when healthy. So I think Jasir will definitely be, if he decides to start playing, he will definitely make the playoffs. But currently he's losing to Team Hall, who's another 0-2 team, so maybe I'll tell him to play so he can pick up his first win. And then obviously we will go over the main league, who almost had an upset of a century. Actually was literally leading by 7,500 points against John Johnson last week through sheer will of matchup acquisitions, and this guy just being terrible. At managing his team, he ended up losing somehow. I'm pretty sure he's up like 300 at some point, and he still lost the game. He's got Conley, he's got Levine, Anthony Davis, who's playing really well, Capella, Trae Young, John Wall, I'm pretty sure he's averaging, okay, never mind, he's not. I thought he was averaging like 35. Jimmy Butler, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard on IR, but when he's back, you know, he's going to be doing his thing. So he's got a pretty stacked team right now currently. So that's always a good thing. Now I guess we'll go over the current standings, and if you guys probably expected, I'm not first place. But I will be first place eventually. I'm currently second. You know, I haven't been like making any matchup. I'm not really trying to score points. I haven't gone crazy out of the way to make my matchup acquisition limits. 13 and 10 and 9. I mean, this is a sweaty league. Let me tell you that. I mean, this person only got 1 and he's top 4. So main league obviously 5th, and he's not in this top 4 because dude had the biggest choke of his life probably. And then we also got Jasir all the way down to 10th, but his team is stacked, so whenever he decides to start starting his players and whenever his team decides to get healthy, he will definitely start winning games. It's pretty much that simple. Let's go over the main leagues. Terrible loss right here. If we take a look at it, he won 1, 2, 3. He won the first 3 days. And then look what happened here. Literally look what happened here. I mean, he got outscored by almost 100 on the last day. He got outscored by 120 on the day before that, and ended up losing. Now obviously the matchup acquisition limit is 7-5, so 2 extra, but even if you add that matchup, he still made 5 changes and ended up blowing this lead. 1530 is a lot of points. So it's not like he didn't underperform or anything. 1476 is a good number. I mean, I dropped 1529 and I only had 2 matchup acquisition limits. Didn't really need to make any against Team Hall. That's a pretty standard win. And then we got Lil DC here, who made 5 matchup acquisition limits and only managed to put 1258. So I'm not too worried about him right now. So yeah, that's currently how it is. I might have to trade for Nikola Jokic, who is looking like a pretty mean pickup if I manage to trade for him. Hopefully my Doncic trade gets approved and this guy accepts it, but I don't think he will. So currently, as it stands, let's go ahead and take a look at my schedule coming up. Here we will probably win here and end up going through. You know, we have Team Lowry, which could pose a little, you know, threat. I'm not saying anything, but could pose a threat. I think I'll end up winning that one. Then we got Jasir, and if Jasir is active this week, we could have our first loss handed to us. After that, we have John Johnson, and we continue with Flatten, and then we have the main league. So our schedule is pretty tough here. We have two scary games in the next couple of weeks. This one, I know this is rivalry waiting to happen, but I think this one might be the scariest if Jasir decides to play and makes up his matchup acquisition limits. He could definitely put maybe even 1700. Like, that team is scary. If healthy and he plays, I don't know. That could be a dangerous combination. But let me know what you guys think below in the comment section. And yeah, happy Halloween.